So I've wanted to make this type of video for a very long time, considering how many people I've encountered on the forums who seem to go back to the all Watchdog isn't bad, it's banned a million accounts argument, as you can see right here. Hypixel has had a total of 938,000 accounts banned in 2016. 649,000 accounts banned by Watchdog. That's over 1,700 accounts per day, which is quite impressive. But let's actually take a look at comparing that to another server's anti-cheat, GCheat, just to see if that is something that is going to stand up to, an anti-cheat that is good. And I know I'm going to get those occasional people in the comment section. Tenebrous, you can't compare Watchdog and GCheat. GCheat's an anti-cheat and Watchdog's a cheat detector. No, none of that. Actually, by your own definition, GCheat would also be a cheat detector. Anyways, let's look at this guy. You really can't compare the two. Both networks support different game type servers, and it's quite difficult to have an anti-cheat that fits all of the network's needs. They are both efficient in what they do and are still being worked on to get perfected. So basically, nothing's really preventing me from comparing them, because basically, if, for example, Hypixel had to work a little harder to, get their, all their game modes synced up with the anti-cheat, well, that's on them to create an anti-cheat that's, very efficient, right? It's not like it's their fault that these game modes are going to flag anti-cheat checks, but it's still up to them to, model the anti-cheat around the game mode checks by, perhaps checking where the player is on the network to, determine whether or not someone who's flying in slime mode is using high jump or not. So yeah, I really don't see where this argument goes. Another thing, version number is really not going to limit cheat detection if you know what you're doing. You can easily check the player's version that they've logged onto the server with. It's very, very easy to do that, and it's not really that much of an issue. There are certain packets you can check to, that signify whether or not someone is on a certain version, so don't give me that excuse. Anyways, let's get into the raw statistics now. Now, as of making this video on the 24th of January 2018, Watchdog has a total of 1,487,570 bans, and it also has a daily ban count of 1,504. Now, yesterday it was 1,700. I believe it fluctuates around that number, up and down, depending on whether or not how many players are on the server, therefore the number of hackers, because, the number of hackers is a percentage of the number of players on. Basically, we'll get into all that stuff later. Now, let's take a look at GCheat. Now, on the Badlion website, there's a set of statistics that's very similar to the ones on Plonk.io. It says there have been a total of 2 million punishments issued by the Badlion staff team. There have been a total of 181,000 bans issued by Badlion staff team. There are a total of 1 million banned players on Badlion, and GCheat has owned 1,008,200 hackers. Now, this is statistics as of January 24th, 2018, as I've stated previously. So at first glance, it's very clear that Watchdog is the superior anti-cheat, right? So another thing we need to take into account is when these anti-cheats were actually implemented. So we're going to look back in exactly when GCheat and Watchdog were implemented, so that way we can calculate the number of bans they have on average per month. The original Watchdog post posted on the forums was 24 months old, as it was published on January 24th, 2016, which is approximately 2 years. Okay, and GCheat was first created in December of 2014, which gives it approximately 37 months, as it's just over 3 years. Now, for Watchdog, we take the total number of bans, which is 1,487,570, and divide it by the total number of months that Watchdog has existed for, which is 24, or approximately 2 years, and we get an average of 61,982.08333 as the total number of bans Watchdog has averaged per month since its creation 2 years ago. And now we do the exact same calculation we just did for Watchdog for GCheat. So we take 1,008,200 bans and divide it by the 37 months that GCheat has existed, and we get an average of 27,248.6486 bans per month. Now, after rounding each of the numbers to the nearest whole, so we have 61,982 bans for Watchdog per month divided by the 249 bans that GCheat has every month, we get a ratio of approximately 2.27 between the two. Now, as the time of this recording, Hypixel currently has 29,734 online players, and Badlion has 1,000 players. Now, we're going to be extremely conservative here, and we're going to take the minimum estimate for Hypixel, and we'll say 30,000 players, and the maximum average estimate for Badlion, let's say 5,000 players. I'm being incredibly generous to Badlion here, and we're going to calculate a ratio between the two player counts, and that ratio amounts to approximately 6. Now, if we take the ratio between the two player counts and divide it by the ratio between the average bans per month, we get a number which is approximately 2.673. Now, it's important to understand that this number could be, because of a multitude of factors. This is simply the ratio between the number of bans that Watchdog has per month against its player count and Badlion's bans per month against their player count. And as you can see, either we have two options. Either GCheat is 2.673 times better at banning hackers than Watchdog is, or there's 2.673 times more hackers on Badlion than there is on Hypixel. We really don't know. And that's the thing. I think it's a bit of both. And, making this type of video, I'm supposed to, arrive at a conclusion, but the thing is that these types of, you don't have access to a very available type of data set, which is the number of hackers that are actually on each server. So it's very difficult to actually arrive at a definite conclusion about which one is better. But pretty much those are the two options. Now, it could be the fact that perhaps there's 3 times as many hackers on Badlion, but Watchdog is, better than GCheat. That's also a possibility. Ratio difference can be explained by a multitude of factors. GCheat might be a little better than Watchdog. I'm just going to have to say that. But however, Badlion being a very intense PvP practice server probably has a lot more cheaters. So it's pretty much, it's up. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below exactly what you think this means. But anyway, hope everyone enjoyed, and I'm sorry about the huge amount of math, but it's pretty simple. I will see you all later. Peace out.